What's up, everybody? We're live. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Police Off the Cuff After Hours. I'm your host. My name is Mark DeMeo. I have a great guest tonight. I'm so excited. He's such a good guy. He's a police officer in Michigan. He's about to retire in 10 months, and he's very excited after doing. It's going to be 29 years. He's going to do.
Yes.
Uh, he- yeah, he's also a hilarious comedian. He shared the stage with many greats such as Louis Anderson, Greg Giraldo, Ralphie May, Alonzo Bowden, who I've worked with, and he's appeared on Last Comic Standing, and he also won World's Funniest Cop competition. What year was that, by the way?
Oh man, that was in 2006. A
Oh,
long time ago.
yeah, I won that contest every year since then. I'm just kidding.
Yes, you have.
What's up, everybody? Let's welcome Dwayne L Gill. What's up, Dwayne?
Hey man, thank you so much, Mark, for having me on your podcast and your show, man. This is awesome. I'm just excited to be here for this, but I'm also excited because I've got, as of today, 9 months and 29 days to go until I retire, man. I'm so excited.
You're on your farewell tour right now.
Yes, I am, my friend. Yes, I am, man. It's so good to see your face, man.
Yeah. It's good to see you too. I wanted to tell everybody a little bit about what a great guy
Please.
you are. I'm I'm sitting on my hands over here in New York, as Joey Gay would say. I'm sitting on my hands over here in New York, and out of the blue, I get a call from you, and let's just say, we've worked together. I think in the past a couple of times, not
Yeah,
many, not enough
right.
to like do the type of favor that you did for me. But you told me about a gig that was available, and
Uh-huh.
it was the Michigan State Police has well, they usually have a racket once a year where they do a lot of fundraising and stuff like that for special
But it's
causes
the
and stuff.
it's the POAM, Police Officers Association of Michigan.
Okay. Yeah,
POAM. Okay. Yep.
POAM. So
Yep. That's it.
they have this thing, and they had to postpone it for a year, maybe two, because of the COVID.
Right.
But this time they were going to do it. They're going to do it right, and everybody was really excited about it. But they needed a comedian, and you had done it so many times already, and you recommended me, and obviously it was big shoes to fill.
Oh,
Uh, and but I went down there and I smacked the shit out of them, bro.
you punch him in the mouth.
Oh yeah, it was great, man. Let me tell you something, bro.
Tell me.
It's really exciting to see, because I worked in obviously with the NYPD,
Right.
and before everything happens to smaller departments throughout the country, we're usually the ones that get it taken away first. These
Right.
big
Right.
metropolises, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like just like chokeholds right now. We can't do like any type of chokeholds or kneeing on somebody's back. We'll
Yep.
get charged with a
Yep.
crime, even if
Yep.
that's a murderer underneath your knee,
Right.
um, because of this the new law that we have here. But a lot of states don't have that yet. But it usually
Right.
starts off here, the worst. So we've had to be kind of sort of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, politically correct
Right.
in all our rackets and stuff. But it's nice to see a place that still does it the old-fashioned way, man.
And that would be Michigan, right?
Oh my God, what a good time, man.
They just let you do whatever you wanted to do, did they?
Well, yeah, within reason, obviously.
Within reason. Yeah.
Listen, the first night I got there, right? Because I'm smart. Like I do these gigs like I'm a pro, like you. I've been around a minute.
Right.
So I'm not gonna show the day of all stressed out, lucky that I caught my flights and stuff like that to make it to
Right.
this gig. So I come in the day before.
Yep.
So I came in the day before, which gives me also a day to like settle in and get to,
Yeah.
know my surroundings and the people I'm going to be performing for. And on that particular night, they had a bar crawl. They had like some type of poker game
Yeah.
where you would go. There was 5 bars right around the hotel area.
And
You
that was
walk,
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
yeah, in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
And so I went. I lasted 3 of them. I didn't make it the whole 5.
See, that's great. They never took me on the damn bar crawl. I'm the guy that shows up the day of because I live here, man. But
Uh huh.
they took care of you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I tried this thing called pickleback.
Yes. Yep.
For those of you, I don't know whether there's any other states that do this, but If you've never had a pickleback, this is what it is. It's a shot of Jameson's followed by a shot of pickle juice,
Right.
and it's actually pretty good.
It is, isn't it? And
Yeah, yeah,
it'll put you on your friggin' ass, won't it?
yeah. But you can't have more than 5 of them
You can't have more than 5 of
because I learned the hard way. The next day, all you're doing is burping up pickle juice. Yeah, yeah.
So the next day you do the gig, and how'd that go?
It was great. Like, listen, we've been doing comedy for a minute. Like, I think I'm closing in on 23 years
Okay,
of doing stand up.
I'm sitting on 17. Okay.
Okay, so there's certain type of gigs, and there's the gigs you got to bring it. There's not going to be any time for laying back and
Exactly.
cruising and just being. No, you got to go. You're gonna get up there. You got to hit them hard and pray to God.
Yeah.
Go fast. Go as fast as you can. Nail the punchlines. Keep it moving.
Yep.
Maybe you could come up for air if it's really going good and you got them settled down. And everybody's listening. There might be that moment you could come up for air.
Right.
Take a beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
hit them again.
Yeah. It's one of those to get. It's not for everybody.
No.
No. You like it's hard to explain to the average person, what it takes, but you got to bring it, man. You got to be bigger than life. You got to get everybody. You were talking about over 300 people, maybe 350, 400 people.
Yep, and all cops. All
cops, and it's like 95% men.
Yes.
Maybe 90%. There was quite. I was surprised at how many actual female officers were there.
Yeah, they got some girlfriends there and female officers. Well, let me tell you how I got the gig the first time. It's a great story. I was doing Mark Ridley's Comedy Club. This is maybe about 7, 8, almost 10 years ago, and they came out to see me because they were going to audition me to do it for the very first time. And so they watched my act, they watched my show, and after the show, they pulled me into the outside the club, and they say, "Hey, we really enjoyed you, but you're a little bit too clean for us." I said, "Too clean? What do you mean?" They say, "We know we're doing a corporate show, but these are 300 cops. We need you to be dirty." I said, "How dirty?" "They want you in the gutter." I said, "In the gutter?" He said, "Yeah, X-rated, dirty, in the gutter." I said, "Well, how dirty?" "Just dirty, right?" So I show up to do my first time with them, and this is like 2010, 11, or whatever. I go there, first thing I say, "What do you guys want? You want it dirty? You want it clean?" They're like, "Dirty." I said, "How dirty?" "Dirty." I said, "Kick her in the cunt, dirty." "Kick her in the cunt." And they went to the races from there, man. They went straight to the races. It was bad. So it was it was. And I did everything I could, man. And then the president of the union, he does his thing, Tig. He's awesome. And it's okay. Tig loves it, man. He does that donkey ass of the year award.
Yeah.
Where they roast the sheriff or police chief that's been the donkey ass of the year. And they
it's like it's a politician, and it's an elected official that somehow has pissed the police department off.
That pissed the union off, and they put their face right in the donkey's ass on the picture, and they give him an award, and they send it to him. They actually send it to him in the mail, and it says it's coming from, like, if it's the sheriff, they say it's coming from the National Sheriff's Association. So the sheriff is thinking he got some great, sweet award. When he opens it up, it's his face in the back of a donkey ass. Okay? Seriously, man, these guys are off the chain. They are. They're crazy. I love them. I love them. But man, I'm so glad you came and did it because they wanted a cop comic, and you fit the bill perfectly, and they paid good. The money.
It was great. Yeah. I never tell people how much money. I don't.
Well, we ain't gotta say nothing. I ain't gonna tell nobody. But it was
good. People never quite understand. They're like, really? Like they have these visions of doing stand up. Like, no, I've been doing this for 23 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're man, if every day could be like that, you know what I'm saying? But then you're messing around on another level. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You're lucky if you get 2 of those a month.
Oh, dude, that's sweet. But I've been killing it like that, man, for like the past 17 years. I have been just blessed, man. I do a ton of corporates. I do the clubs as they come. I'm basically here in the Midwest. But man, I'm just having a blast, man. And COVID just screwed me, just like everybody else, out of the game. But September, October, November this year, I'm freaking crushing. I got gigs back. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to do them. I'm vaccinated. I'm gonna get my booster. I don't give a shit. I'm ready to go.
You know, now that you bring it up, the vaccinated thing, I watched one of your clips. I tried to get the clip. Um, I forgot where you posted it, but you talk about your friend that he wants to. He still has to do his research.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, man, I said, man, why didn't you get the vaccine? He's like, man, I still got to do my research. I'm like, dude, you work at Jiffy Lube, man. Like, you're not splitting atoms at Jiffy Lube. And then I tell him, I say, he says, well, it's got the chip in there, and that's how they follow you. I'm like, dude, they follow you with that phone you got in your back pocket, dumbass. What the hell? Oh yeah, man. That joke's been killing, except in
Uh-huh.
Bismarck, North Dakota, where I was at last week. That didn't because they believe that stupid shit. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You wouldn't really think of it as a political joke, but
yeah,
it
it is.
really,
Oh, it's political as hell. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Depends
But
on
it
where you
is.
do it. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting. That's
yeah,
interesting that there are parts. Like over here, we have there's small groups of people that for whatever reason they have, they don't want to they don't want to get it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And but it's for
yeah,
us, it's mostly compliance. Now you
yeah,
go to other states, and it's mostly like no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. Especially down south, the ones that don't have education. And
Hmm.
just saying. But no, even in some of these Midwest places, I mean, man, dude, I don't understand it. I was in the military, Mark. I was in the Marine Corps, okay? And I got vaccinated for every damn thing. You understand? When I went to boot camp, they hit me in both arms. I didn't know what the hell they were hitting me with. I'm 17 years old, man. Hit me with your best shot. I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah,
I
well,
got, yeah, yeah, go
when
ahead.
you go into the service, your body belongs to them at that
It
point.
belongs to Uncle Sam.
They can
Yeah,
shoot you with anything. You can't refuse.
no.
The
Who
idea
am
that
I
they
thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, the idea that the military is going to vaccine all their people is it's not even a question. I mean, you sign up for that's what you sign up for.
That's what you sign up for, man. Dude, I went to Beirut. I was in Lebanon back in the 80s, 1984. And anytime before you go on a deployment to a foreign country, dude, they used to shoot you with this thing in the ass called gamma goblin. Any of you veterans out there know what exactly I'm talking about. It's called gamma goblin. It kills everything. They shoot you right in the ass with it. And when they're putting it in, they're hitting the plunger like this, sticking it in your
Uh-huh.
ass, and you got a big knot in your butt for about a week. But guess what? When you go to that foreign country to do what you got to do, you're not catching nothing. So I don't understand it,
Uh-huh.
man. I don't get it. So hey, I'm just a 58-year-old black guy sitting in my loser ass divorcee 1 bedroom apartment in Lansing. So I'm just that
Oh,
guy.
we share similar stories. So
That's good. That's good to know.
yeah, you see, I'm looking at your background right now. See, mine is a green screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got
Like
everybody fooled.
this fabulous apartment that I'm sitting in front of. That's not mine at all. I'm in a basement.
Dude, I'm looking at you when you first came on. I'm like, that's a sweet ass apartment from Brooklyn. Shit.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. No, it's actually in a beautiful house. I live in a good neighborhood. It just
Yeah,
happens to be in the basement. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm looking at your place. It's kind of sort of the way my place looks like.
Yeah, man. It's my kitchen. There's my recruit school pictures from graduating from the academy, my first badge, and my other stuff that my ex-wife didn't take. So
So, do you have kids
my
and
dreams.
stuff?
Yeah, I've got 3 kids. I love most of them.
Well, you know what? Wait, I want to show something to our audience here. Wait,
You funny,
let's
man.
do something. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you got a surprise for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This will be fun.
Oh,
Had a great career, man. It's been fun. We got 2 girls and a boy. Sometimes I forget. I love my kids, man. They hate the fact that I'm a stand-up comic as well as a cop. And I always play practical jokes on them. Like one day my daughter brought home a boy to meet me. And you know what happens? You're a cop. You know how you guys are. Your daughter brings home somebody, it's automatically gun cleaning day at my house, right? Brings home this kid, and I say, hey, sir, I said, young man, let me get your license. He says, really? I said, yeah, give me your damn license, right? So I take that, look at it, I said, "You live at this address?" He says, "Yes." Say, "Anything happens to my daughter, don't go back to this address, right?" And then I told my son at an early age, "If you ever get arrested, I will leave you in jail. I will not come and get you. I will not bail you out. You will stay there and you'll learn your lesson." He's like, "Dad, won't you miss me?" I'm like, "Hell no. I'll see you when I go to work."
That's good stuff.
He didn't clap after that.
I haven't done that joke in a while, man.
Yeah.
Look at you doing your research.
Look at that. Yeah.
Look
Hey,
at that. Look at that.
you know, that's it's so great, man. It's so wonderful to see you on stage. You're so polished. You're in the zone, man.
And
It's
I'm about 35 pounds lighter too, and no stash.
uh yeah. Well, the closer you get to retirement, the better more you got to shape up.
Oh man, I'm so excited, Mark. Man, I'm telling you, I get emotional, man, each day, man, just to think about being able to do this after I'm done full time. Oh my God, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, the last year tends to go quick.
Okay.
For me, it flew by.
Uh-huh.
I had the same exact the feeling that you did, except I wasn't divorced yet. I was, so now you're divorced, so you're ready to go all in. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
all in,
You're
baby.
set up. Like I was still married, so at that point, I was set up to do it, and then the divorce kind of sort of
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But it's incredible, man. It's incredible that to watch how polished you are, and you're also clean too for the most part.
yeah.
Like you mentioned, how they pulled you aside, and they the people for that Michigan gig, they told you, we need dirty, and you had it in your back pocket.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
I talked to this comic one time. I forgot who his name was, and he's a really good comic. I'll think of it. But he told me one day, because when I was a young comic, I was dirty.
Uh-huh.
It was fun, and he said to me, he goes, I've gotten paid over $500 to be a dirty comedian a couple of times, but I've gotten paid over $500 to be a clean comedian hundreds of times.
Absolutely.
And I never forgot that. It's
Yeah,
it's nice to have the dirty stuff in your back pocket, and when you're in a club,
yeah.
whatever. But you got to be able to cut out a lot. A good joke, all it really is taking out the bad word.
Absolutely. You can
Uh,
still do the innuendo and whatnot, but I'm just like you, man. When I first started, the guy, his name is Roger at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. He told me I was really dirty, and he said, "Dwayne, clean leads to green. Clean leads to green." And I never
Yeah.
forgot that. And I'm all about the loop, man. So Kathleen Madigan told me years ago. She said, "Have you a clean act? Have you a regular club act, and then have you in the sewer dirty act. You know,
Hmm.
just have those three ready to go." And I took that advice and ran with it. So I could do corporate clean in a church if I need to. I can do regular club act, PG-13, light R, or I can get down like those folks wanted in Grand Rapids every single year.
Yeah. Most jokes you can clean up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. That's easy stuff. Easy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ass
Hey, you
eating
should be
joke I
able to do
have.
that. Yeah, what's that?
The ass eating joke I have though, that one's a little. It's hard to clean that one up.
Yeah, especially when it starts with ass eating. I think it kind of
Yeah.
gives it away, you know.
That's
So I mean,
very.
yeah, it's kind of descriptive, you know.
It involves a little Q-tips and running water.
Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. But I mean, this is you. We can, hey, you can
No,
tell
no,
it,
no. I'm
man.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just know because while you were talking, I was thinking about what I said and that you could clean
Uh-huh.
up most. And there's some jokes that can't be cleaned up, like the ass
Oh
eating joke.
yeah, there's a few.
Great joke, but that one it's tough to clean that one up.
Oh man, it's tough. But yeah, I'm just fortunate, man. You know, and then most of the stuff you and I, we have to talk about ourselves and make it personal, so nobody can steal it, and it can stay evergreen, it can stay fresh, and and just do your thing, man. So I mean, I'm totally blessed, bro. It's awesome.
So, for me, combining the comedy with police work, It was difficult. I
Okay.
think I think I I added to a lot of stress in my
Okay.
head because I always thought that there was going to be somebody, a boss or something, that said to me, "You can't do this anymore.
Right.
We don't want you doing this anymore."
Yeah.
And that always made me nervous. I even went as far as kind of sort of changing my name. I did it for acting, really,
Right.
but I didn't. It worked out because I didn't want the two people associated with themselves.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? God
Oh, I
forbid.
know. I know. Oh, yeah.
God forbid there was a night that something was said that.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is that the job actually helped me, and they looked
Okay.
out for me, and they never got in the way at all. As a matter of fact, they made it easier for me to function.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
yeah, I was blessed in that way. I was
So you
blessed in that
never
way.
got no trouble. You never got investigated or anything or
As a
at
matter of
all.
fact, I know that we'll talk about this, but you worked in recruitment, which
Right.
to me sounds like a tit gig. I had I had one too. The last 5 years I worked in detective training.
Okay.
So I was a detective for 13 years, and I worked in the squad, handling robberies and burglaries, and I worked in the warrant squad,
Okay.
grabbing people on felony warrants and stuff like that.
Right.
But at some point, I bumped into another detective at a comedy show I was doing in the Village at the Boston Comedy Club, and
Okay.
he said, "Oh, I'm on the job." I said, "Here." There was like a CD or a DVD that I was selling after the show. I
Right.
see it. I gave it to him. So anyway, he worked in the warrants. He worked in the detectives training,
Uh-huh.
and I was trying to get there. He happened to give it to the CO. The CO heard it and they go, "Oh, this guy wants to come here." He goes, "Yeah, yeah. Call him up. Tell him we'll pull him over." Meanwhile, at the time, nobody was getting out of the squads. The squads
Right.
were
They're
running. They were
busy.
low on bodies,
Yeah.
and they weren't letting people go. And I got
Right.
out, man. I got that fucking hook
Oh,
was
that
a
was sweet.
that was a crane. Yeah, yeah. So for the last 5 years, I had a chance to. I worked. I had to
Yeah.
create lesson plans, and I
Yeah.
coordinated the homicide course. But I was able to do my comedy at night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I've been in recruiting for the past since 2014. And dude, let me tell you, I work Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5. I have every Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and it is amazing. I got a great boss. I've had two great bosses who supported me and allowed me to take a day off here or travel there. Because I'm like you, I like to go out. If I got a show on Friday, I
Mm-hmm,
go out Thursday night. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And dude, it's been great. But it's been hot and cold, because sometimes my agency that I can't tell you who I work for because of the court order. Uh,
Yeah, well,
sometimes,
tell us about that. That's one of the situations that I worried about, and it
oh yeah,
actually
I'm gonna
happened
tell
to
you about
you.
it. I'm gonna tell you about it.
Good.
But they used to hire me to do conferences and all kind of stuff, and I would do conferences for out of state conferences and trainings. But then sometimes they get pissed at me, and then they write me up. Like one time, I did a joke at a retirement party, and I'm off duty, and I go to this retirement party, and my old boss was there, and she's retired, and I didn't really care for her that much. So because she wrote me up for saying WPS, which is white people shit. and,
Uh-huh.
but I said it,
You-
or I put it on a Facebook post while I was on duty, and so they found it, wrote me up, they gave me a letter in my file, whatever, and then so she was retired. I go to a retirement party, and I say this: I'm in a suit and tie, and I say, man, everybody here is all dressed up. I'm in a suit and tie, and you guys are just got on t-shirts and shorts. I said that's some serious WPS white people shit, and
uh,
everybody laughed, but somebody got offended, and they wrote it up, and they investigated me. It's the very first time I'm talking to internal investigators, and they're asking me about jokes in my act. They're reading jokes from my act to me,
wow,
and it was
wow, that's so
hilarious.
interesting.
And so anyway, they want to give me 2 days off and whatnot, and so I appealed it. And bottom line was, me and my union guy went in there, and I said, "Look, man, I've got a First Amendment right. I was off duty. Um, the colonel from the job had did things even worse than me at retirement parties. But I'm the only guy in the history of this agency, 110 years, who gets written up for telling a joke at a retirement party. I think, yeah, I think you're treating me a little different. I mean, could it be because I'm black? They're like, this man, yeah, yeah. Just don't tell people you work for us. Okay, I can do that. So yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I got obviously when you're a comedian, they want to have you do the party. So I did two different parties. One of them was I'm trying to think. One of them was for the whole Warren squad,
Okay.
all the boroughs.
Uh,
Okay, but the one before that was for yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to just our Warren squad, Manhattan Warren squad.
and how many
Well,
people?
between well, the Manhattan Warren squad was probably like maybe 100,
Okay.
maybe 150. But
Okay.
the borough the yeah, that was a bigger one. But it
Wow.
was the one in the Manhattan Warren squad. I remember, and I told people, they were like, "Oh, well, you better roast us. You better roast it." I'm like, you don't understand. Like, some people, some feelings are gonna get hurt. They're like,
Right.
nah, just do it. So then I go up there and I do it.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing about roasting is that everybody has a great time when you're roasting somebody else.
Oh yeah.
But
Until it comes to
if it lands on them, that they could get pissed off.
oh yeah.
And
Oh
I remember I was working the room. I was going from table to table.
yeah.
And first off, there was my lieutenant there.
uh,
And I says, "Oh, because he had a girl with him." And I said something like, is that the missus or the mistress?" Something like that, man.
oh yeah, man.
And he had a that was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah, that's a mistake. That is a mistake.
And then I went to he never said anything about it, but people told
Right,
me that he
right.
was a little bit upset about it. I think his kids were there too, but it was the mistress.
It was the mistress.
But who turned out to be his real girl, because he had a story, he had a backstory. Everybody knew
Right,
it. So
right.
that's why it was fodder for us,
Yeah,
because
yeah, for
everybody
us.
knew the backstory. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
So
Okay.
I just said something that everybody knew out in the open, and then one of the girls that we worked with, she came with her whole crew, which would they were all lesbians.
Okay.
So as I went to
Oh.
that table, I says, okay, so now we're at the alternative lifestyle table. And then and this, we're going back like 15 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Uh-huh.
And then it was great. And then one day, fast forward like 2 years later, I'm at a detail in uniform,
Uh-huh.
and his female captain, she might have been an inspector. She had like, you could always tell they got a white shirt on and a whole bunch of collar brass over here.
Right. Right.
And she's walking with somebody. I guess that's her driver, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she sees me and she stops. She goes, "Officer, come over here." And I was a detective at the time. "Come over here." And she goes, "Do you remember me?" I said, "No, no,
No.
Inspector. I'm sorry. I apologize if I don't." She goes, "I was sitting at the alternative lifestyle table."
Oh yeah.
So I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." She goes, "No, you were great. You were great. Don't worry
That's
about it. Go ahead."
good. That's
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
So it all worked out.
Oh, that happens to me all the time, man. I did a show for the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, Noble,
Uh-huh.
and it was down in Detroit, and there was a lot of Detroit police officers there. And I work for who I work for, and I get down there, I'm like, man, you guys, I love Detroit PD, man. Your chief, he is so cute. He's about this big, man. He's only like 5 foot. I saw him one day. I picked him up, kissed him right on his forehead. I said, "You are
Uh-huh.
so cute. You are
Uh-huh.
so cute." And they laughed because their chief, his name was Ralph
Uh-huh.
Gabby. He was a little short fucker, right?
Uh-huh.
So a couple of days later, the job that I was in at the time, I worked at the Capitol, and I was the legislative liaison for my department, which means I was the lobbyist. So I was working down doing political stuff, and the lobbyist came in for Detroit, and he says, "Hey man," he says, "I was telling the chief of police that he's going to come down and do this testimony in front of committee." And I told him, I said, "Yeah, man, Sergeant Dwayne Gill is going to help us." And the chief was like, "Dwayne Gill, that name sounds familiar. That motherfucker, yes. I want to meet that motherfucker. Yeah, yeah, he was talking shit about me. Dude, the next day he came into committee, he looks up at me. He says, "You act like you 6 foot tall, man." I said, "Come on, Chief." I said, I said, making fun of someone is the highest form of flattery. And so
uh,
he sat down, did his testimony, and his little feet, they were dangling on the chair, man. So my ass gets in trouble all the time, man.
so great. Hey, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the people that are tuning in tonight in our comments. So let me say hello to a Factual Breakdown. Hello, this is my first time being in the chat. That's funny, Factual. I see you all the time. Nunu Huda checking in. Hi, checking convictions. Hey, everyone. Rachel Pranzo. Rachel and her husband Peter. He wrote the book Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He's a retired detective. They're with us every show. They're big
awesome.
fans, big supporters, and wonderful people. We have a lot of actually wonderful guests. People that follow the show and stuff like that. It's really an
I
honor.
see that. I'm looking.
It's
I'm
honor.
seeing.
Yeah, I'm. What I'm doing right now is I'm going up. I didn't realize how many people that we had in the chat. But
Wow.
let's just keep going here a little bit. Hold on one second.
Look, I'm putting on my glasses. You know I'm old. I got to put my glasses on.
Joe Murray. Joe Murray. He's an attorney at law. I'm going to do his commercial in a second. He's a retired member of the service as well, and
Awesome.
he's a big supporter of the show. Shannon, Georgia Peach.
I
Hello.
see that.
Let me see. Who else here is Princess Mish? Hello. Life is short. Tell us some jokes. I think we've been doing pretty good with that, telling them
I think
jokes.
so. I think
They got a lot
so.
of Ryan Investigative Group. What's up, Bill? I miss doing stand up. Ryan is a retired, also a member of the service,
Awesome.
NYPD from the bomb squad, and he dabbled in stand up as well. And
Oh man, that's
yeah, he
awesome.
loves it.
Oh,
He
I see
never
somebody from Michigan, Nicole.
really where.
Yeah, it says Nicole Raydon Shalier.
I gotta find her.
Something like that. Yeah.
Boxing, MMA, 365. Bill did stand up too. Yeah. Bill.
Oh
Bill
man,
was
this is great. This is
a
great.
stand up. Bill was working his way. He's busy now though, doing his real time and his true crime, and it's very successful. By the way, he's doing a great job. Maui Swift, Angela. Hi, Angela. Let's see. We're gonna dip into a commercial here right now.
Okay.
We got a couple things. Like I mentioned, Joe Murray, he's sitting on the sidelines tonight. He's going to be my guest on October 7th. He's bringing somebody in. They're working on a case, and I'm excited to have him back. He's back to full health. He's looking great, dropped 25 pounds. Listen, folks, if you're in trouble, God forbid, you couldn't do any better than having Joe Murray in your corner. Not only is he a gentleman, but he's a great attorney. He's got a heart of gold. I keep his number in my pocket all the time. I have his number on speed dial. It's 646-838-1702. Don't forget that. It's his website is jmurray-law.com. And like I mentioned, he's a retired member of the service. He's an attorney now. And I'm telling you, if I got in trouble, he's the first person I'm going to call. So that'll tell you, because I'm smart. So I am. Where's the other one here? Let me see. I think I'm missing one. 1 second here. Hopefully I got it. All right, here we go. Police Coffee is an officer-owned business dedicated to crafting the finest coffees and blends. Basically, what they do is all the funds that Bill has gotten the coffee. It's called Back to Blue Coffee, and they donate to order the coffee and related products from the policecoffee.com. Go to policecoffee.com. Go to the website. There are over 7 types of coffee to choose from. 50% off of 50% of the profits go to officers' families in need. And for a 10% discount, use OTC 10. That's for a 10% discount. Use OTC 10. 50% of the profits goes to helping families, members of police officers who fell in the line of duty. This guy's doing the right thing. Do the right thing by him.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
learning something there. I like that. Canine bites. I see that too. The whole nine
Yeah.
yards.
They got a whole good thing there going there.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. That's
So,
amazing.
so back to where we were.
Uh,
Tell us a little bit about Michigan and policing in Michigan. What's that
okay.
like? The
Well,
bad neighborhoods, good neighborhoods.
well, it all depends. Obviously, Michigan's a really big state. Detroit's our largest city. We got a lot of issues in Detroit. A lot of issues. I used to troop down there back in the early '90s. I had a blast down there actually. Uh, Actually, the post at that time was very diverse, and we know, like folks that look like me, know how to deal with our population that look like us. And I never had a problem on the freeway when I was working the post down there, patrolling and whatnot. Because number one, I wasn't afraid. These are my folks. I knew how to talk to people, but
When you
nowadays,
talk about recruitment, what is it that you're doing out there?
but recruitment wise, it's been difficult because of everything that's been happening lately. Obviously, in the past couple of years, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're still getting
You
folks
thought of maybe
that are signing up.
giving them donuts and stuff like that, and maybe ice cream if they sign up to.
We giving them all. We are giving them. We're giving them their first. We're giving them their first pick on where they want to go. Okay,
Oh, really?
yeah, they don't have to end up in the UP or up in the Upper Peninsula where whenever I go there, I'm kind of like a tourist attraction. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't a lot of people that look like me up in the UP. Are you familiar with the UP?
Not at all.
It's called the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's way up. Like
Uh
I'm
huh.
down here, and the UP is way up here.
Hmm.
And I go up there every now and then and do shows. And whenever I'm there, I'm kind of like the only chip in the cookie, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it's cool though. Everybody's super nice, But
So you're saying that most of the recruits that you try to pick up from, when I say recruits, that means you're almost like military in a way. You're looking for
yeah,
people to join to sign up for the job.
absolutely, absolutely.
And what
And
what is it that you're offering them, by the way? So I'm a civilian, a gangbanger, but maybe potential gangbanger. I'm choosing right now. I'm slinging a little bit, and then I run into Sergeant Dwayne Gill, and he's what are you slinging? Tell me how you're gonna get me off the streets.
well, if you slinging and gangbanging, you ain't gonna pass the background. So
Oh, really?
I need the guy that's working at policecoffee.com. Right? I need that guy.
Okay. Let's say I was working at Starbucks. I'm in
They
college.
much
Now,
better,
what are you
much
gonna?
better.
What are you telling me right now?
I'm going to talk to him about how he can change his community, change his career, and change his life, and
Hmm.
help him to serve his community. Just like remember Dave Chappelle says, "Hey, I'm working for my community. I work at McDonald's." No,
Uh-huh.
no, you working for your community. You doing your thing, and come on, man. Benefits, retirement. All the good things that you and I are about that we're taking advantage of
All
right
right.
now.
So tell us about the medical benefits. So you got full medical benefits.
Right
D-
now, you do have medical benefits while you're on the job. Retirement, not so much, but they have a 401k to help them with that. But yes,
No, but
you
that's
do have
interesting that you mentioned that because when I first got on the job,
right.
you had full medical,
Yes,
including dental.
yes.
Uh,
Optical, the whole 9 yards.
yeah, optical, dental, full medical. The benefits was in lieu of salary.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That you know what I'm saying? So what happens is they don't want to give you salary and then they want to chip away at the benefits.
Well, you know how
As
they do,
years
man.
goes by, yeah. But
You know
anyway,
how they.
so that was one of the things that pull you in. You get full benefits, medical
Yes,
benefit, plus the retirement. Now, for
yes,
me, it was 20 years and you can retire. Now they've
right,
upped it, different tiers. I think it's 25 or 55 right now.
right. Okay.
So
Do
you got to
you
do
guys
20.
have a Do you guys have a deferred comp or a
We
defined
did,
benefit?
yeah. Yeah, we had, what was it called? 457 or something like that.
Right, 457. Okay,
So we had that plus
a pension.
uh plus the pension, but
Okay.
the fourth the like well, I'll just say 401k to make it easy for
Yeah,
everybody.
absolutely.
Um our 401k, you weren't really supposed to touch it until you get to a certain age.
50,
But
50, 56 or 7, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can contribute to it anymore once you retire. See, that's I forget that. But anyway, and then your pension. You also had life insurance. You were indemnified up to $1 million,
Yep.
and once and plus your pension. But once you
Yes.
retire, you lose that. So you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do for life insurance.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
if you cash out the 457 or the 401k, you're gonna get taxed. I
Oh yeah.
learned the hard way, but I did a lot of fixing up to the house and stuff like that.
All right. 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 Right.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure
Well,
everything was good before she kicked me out.
well, it's the same way with us. I mean, people at old school like me, we retire after if you're hired before 2012, you retire after 25 years. You get 60% of your final average compensation. That's your pension, and then the 457 or 401. That's what you contribute in, and they never contribute anything to it. That's just your own money as
Hmm.
a supplemental retirement. You can start pulling that down at the age of 59 and a half. But for police officers, we get a waiver. We can start pulling it down right now. So for me, I get my pension, I get my 401k. But dude, I'm also in this program called DROP. Have you ever heard of DROP? DROPE?
No.
DROP. Drop is Deferred Retirement Option Program, and what that is, it allowed me to basically retire but stay on the job for an additional 6 years, and whatever my pension is goes into a savings account, and at the end of 6 years, I get whatever's in that account. So it's just
So wait
kind
a
of
minute. So you're not going to collect any pension for 6 years?
well, this is what happened. My pension comes down after I put in my full 25 on the job.
Hmm.
This is kind of sweet. After I put in my full 25, I kind of became, let's just say, a contract employee, where
Oh yeah, yeah.
they're just paying me my regular wages. My pension is coming down, but they're saving it for me in like a lockbox.
Uh
And then
huh.
at the end of 6 years, I get whatever's in that lockbox. So when I retire next year on July 29th, 2022, I get my pension, my 401k, and whatever's in that lockbox. And let me tell you something. If you multiply, let's say $60,000 a year times six, it comes up with it's a lot of money. And she didn't get that.
Oh,
Ah, she didn't get
not yet. He's over
No,
here
no, she
talking.
is done. She don't get that, dog.
You got the
She got
deal.
half the pension. She don't get half the drop.
You know, I had suggested that in a way to keep because there was a moment there. They came up with a law that's now kind of sort of clarifies it, but this you can after 20 years or whatever your thing is, you can't get if you get fired at that point, you're not going to lose your pension
Right.
because
Okay.
it was the whole people. But I always said that after 20 or whatever your retirement date is, 25, you can officially retire,
Right.
and then you start working per contract.
Okay.
So, like let's say on a yearly basis or whatever,
Okay.
you still do, you're still on the job, you're still indemnified, but anything that happens to you or, you can't lose your pension, basically. That was it.
Okay. So were you getting your
That's,
pension and pay at the same time?
well, I would imagine, well, maybe you settle in on a certain salary,
Okay. Okay.
that
Okay.
was one of my theories, just to
Okay.
retain these guys that are leaving in fear of getting jammed up and losing their pension.
Yeah. See, that's where this drop program would be awesome. There's a bunch of agencies here in Michigan that have that, and it kind of actually is good for both the agency as well, or the unit of government that they work for, and the agency. It's awesome because they save money because all your benefits come off the retirement rolls instead of out of the general fund. So it's like it's that magic of financial funding that they do. But I'm okay with it, dog. Because dude, I can't wait.
How do they work over there? They're solo patrol. People partner up depending on what part, how busy it is. Like I would
It's
imagine,
it's it's solo patrol mostly. You
even in
see police
Detroit.
officers. Yeah, well, years ago under our contract we used to double up in Detroit, but nowadays we're on solo patrol. At least my agency everywhere. Detroit police, I think they still run double cars. They still run two people in a car, just
Hmm.
like in the old school, you know. But they're so outmanned down there. They really need help down there. I really feel for Detroit Police Department. I got a lot of partners and friends with Detroit Police. That they the real police. Let me tell you something. They
Mm-hmm.
they kick ass and take names. I got nothing but respect for DPD. It's kind of like working in New York, man. It's crazy. Can you
Mm-hmm.
just imagine just the stuff you see down there? I just worked the freeways, and I would go topside every now and then to help them out because we kept a radio in the car, and you go back somebody up if you're close to them. But when we showed up on the scene, they'd be like, "Oh shit, it must be serious."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, but it's we're getting there. We're getting there, definitely. It's
It's
still the job, man. Come on,
yeah.
baby.
The
Still
funny
the
thing
job.
is, working now is and I have to mention, I found this out just by listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, but he had a guy in there talking about actually is Billy Bill Corgan, Billy Corgan. He's the one that the documentaries Cocaine Cowboy,
Oh, okay,
Cowboy
yeah, yeah,
2,
yeah, 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 yeah. I watched those.
the baseball one, I forgot the name of that one.
Uh,
Limelight. Yeah, he was talking about the amount of deaths right now from COVID
oh,
for police officers. The
oh,
amount
it's
of police
crazy.
officers dying from COVID, I think, is double or triple the amount of actually, you know, getting killed in the line of duty right now. It's astronomical. Nobody's
Listen,
talking about it.
nobody's talking, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I want to tell you this real quick. This is my analysis, and you tell me if you don't agree with me when I tell you this. Remember when we first came on the job many, many years ago? A lot of us didn't wear vests. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I was one of
Remember
them.
we didn't wear vests?
Yeah,
And then they made us start wearing vests because it was
yeah,
so many gun deaths, so many shooting deaths of cops. It was
uh-huh,
astronomical. But
yeah,
then when they started mandating that we wore vests, am I right? Shoot the deaths from shootings went down. Am I
yeah,
right?
yep,
So we were mandated to wear a vest to protect ourselves from shooting. A lot of
hmm,
old school cops, I don't like wearing a vest. It's
hmm,
hot. It's uncomfortable. I can't move. But then, as you got to use it all the time and know it saves your life, you wore it. Fast forward to 2021, cops don't want to take the vaccine. They're like, no, I don't want to take it. But when you go to officer in the line of duty deaths .com or wherever that website is, like you said, 2020, COVID was the leading cause of death for police officers. And that's
uh-huh,
because these folks don't want to take the goddamn vaccine.
yeah,
So it should be mandated, just like it's mandated that you wear a vest. A vest
hmm,
protects you from bullets. The vaccine is going to protect you from getting COVID and effing dying, dude. It's
yeah.
as simple as that, dog. That's just that simple, you
I
know.
hear you. I hear you.
It's
When
just
you talk about wearing the vest, I remember. Well, at this point, I was a detective already, and every once in a while, you'd have to throw the bag on,
yep,
go to a detail,
yep,
and it'll be in the middle of summer, like Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's going to be 110. You know what I'm saying? With no water in
right,
sight. You know what I'm saying? I never wore my vest. I was like, "Fuck it, shoot me. I don't give a shit. I want to die right
exactly,
now.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even want to be here right now. If you're gonna kill me now, because I'm not wearing my vest." You used to open the vest up like this. You used to pull it
Right,
away from your
right.
chest, and you could see the steam coming out. You used
I
to go like this,
know.
watch, look, and then the steam would come out. That's how hot it was wearing that freaking thing in the middle of the summer in New York, a concrete jungle.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
it
insane.
protects you, dude. It protects you, man.
I hear you. I
I'm the
hear
same
you.
way. I'm the same way. Look, when
And
I
you're
go to
coming
work,
in contact with so many people.
right? But when I go to work nowadays, being that I work at our headquarters inside, I wear a uniform, but I don't wear a vest because I'm at HQ.
Uh huh.
But the minute I hit the street or jump in a patrol car, guess what? That vest comes on because I'm a target. You know what
Uh
I'm
huh.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm used to it, man. But 9 more months.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you, man. It's the smart way to go. Um,
That's funny stuff. You funny. Puerto Rican Day Parade.
yeah, you don't want to. That's a long
So let me
day.
ask you, why did you do 20? Was it 20 and out or was it 25 and out where you worked? What was the
It
deal?
was 20 and out, my tier.
Okay, 20 and out.
Yeah, 20. I had a show. Why is my phone? Have I been doing that the whole time?
What's that? I've heard the phone. We're good.
Echoing.
Oh no,
All right.
I don't hear no echo. We're good. We're good.
I heard it for a second there.
Okay. No, but
Um,
20 and out, you were saying.
yeah, 20 was 20 in a way 20 years in a wake up. 20
Okay,
to,
sweet.
so yeah, you could retire. A lot of people didn't,
Mhm.
but because I had this magnificent acting career and comedy career waiting for me, I did.
Good, good. And let me ask you, is that all you're doing now? Is that all? I'm interviewing you now. Is that all you're doing now? Is just comedy and acting?
No, I have a part-time gig that I do. Like I work in a building in the city as a concierge. I do that
Okay.
because I need the money. No, it's also a crutch in a way. You know what I'm
I hear you,
saying?
bro.
I
I
can
hear you,
work a
bro.
little bit harder on the other end, but
Yeah.
part of me is just like I have to make sure I'm
Yeah.
when you
It's
used to like
expensive living in New York, man. I can only imagine.
oh, forget it. Forget it. You
Is
have
it
no idea.
crazy or
Yeah,
what?
and it just keeps going up. It just keep like the gas prices are up now and it's just every single thing. If you name it, the cost of living keeps going up here, yeah, all the time. It's never going to go lower.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, now they're talking about just doing some congestion pricing in New York City that basically you'll be charged an extra toll somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 to go lower to drive lower than 61st Street in Manhattan. That's something that's been in the works for a while. Still hasn't come to fruition. It's about a year or two away, but um, it's an
Hmm.
interesting thing because if you work in the city
Okay.
or you're planning to continue working, that's something that might change your mind. Like, I'm not going to go to work and have to pay for lunch. Like,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Let's
Yeah.
say you go lunch in Michigan. What's that going to
Mhm.
run you? Dinner, whatever you're working your tour, whether you're going to go someplace and order it. I'm not talking about fast food. I'm talking about, I don't
A
even know
good,
what you have there. Yeah,
yeah.
let's say a
Let's just say
diner.
a nice lunch. Honestly, a nice lunch. I went to lunch today. $11.
Okay. It's
11
20
bucks.
and it's 20 in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Just give them
Right.
$20. It's never going to be lower than that.
No fooling. And
God
then
forbid.
dinner
Oh,
what?
well, God forbid you eat twice a day.
Oh,
You got to bring your own food. One of the meals, you got to bring your own food.
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then now, you take parking into consideration. Now you're going to pay for that extra freaking toll to get in to go
Wow.
lower than 60th Street. They just keep this guy. This guy is a genius. Our mayor at fucking things up. Like, as far as fucking things up, you could not create a better person to fuck things up. Like, this guy just walks in a room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I heard you guys don't really like him very much. I think I've seen that before on
sometimes I see.
social media.
Sometimes I see other departments turn their back on their mayor. Like I know they did it in Chicago with Lightfoot. They
Yeah.
turned their back on their mayor. Like, shit, we've been doing that with this guy for 8 years already. This guy won't fucking leave. He don't give a fuck, this guy. This guy does not give a fuck.
Dude, that's what I like about New York, man. New York, y'all let it hang out. Y'all do not give a shit, man. First time
Uh-huh.
I ever went to New York was in 2004. I've never been there before. And dude, y'all do not give a fuck, man. It's awesome, man. I love it, dude.
There's only, what
But
do
let
they
me ask you
say?
this: how about the comedy scene? As far as can you make money in comedy there, or you just getting a few bucks per spot just to hopefully get seen, and then bring your shows and all that kind of stuff?
Well, that's the one thing that you're blessed with when you live here in New York
Okay,
or on the East Coast over here.
okay,
Um, you have New York, you have Connecticut to the north,
okay.
you have Jersey, you have Pennsylvania. Um, you passed Connecticut, you got Massachusetts. These are all areas that are within driving distance.
To get
And
that
I,
money.
yeah, yeah, and
Okay,
the money's good money. It's decent
good.
money. I mean, if you're a hustler and you play your cards right,
Yeah.
you can make a living at it. It's not going to be like I was thinking about this. Like, every young comedian has a joke about their living arrangement. Either they're renting a room somewhere here in New York City because they come
Right,
from all over the country. So their
right,
jokes are usually about their living condition. I'm
right,
renting a room over here, or I have a studio apartment that's so small
right.
Well, once you start making it in comedy and cooking, you don't
Uh-huh.
have to live that more away anymore. You
Okay.
can move out to the boroughs, and then you move out to the boroughs. You get yourself a little whip to get to all your gigs, and if
Okay.
you're lucky enough, you really roll in the dough. You get yourself a little basement apartment.
Okay.
There
And the
ain't no
green
money.
screen.
There's no money in fucking comedy. You kidding? No, no. The difference, because you know what's funny about comedy is if I promised you $1,000 a week for your comedy, 50 weeks a year,
Yeah.
most comedians would take it at a heartbeat. Now, what is that?
Uh-huh.
It's 50,000 a year. What is that's
Right.
nothing. No health insurance, no
Yeah. Yeah.
benefits, no
Yeah.
401k.
Right.
And we all know, like, listen, there's some weeks you make 2 or 3 grand, there's some weeks you make 250.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
So it's
That's why I stayed on the job this long. That's why I stayed on the damn job. You're damn right.
there's a lot of comedians that I started with that, like I said, we started together.
Right.
And they never bothered. They knew I was a cop back then.
Right.
And now they say to me all the time, I'm like, dude, what you did by staying on the job, man, that was the smartest thing you could do.
That's what John DeResta told me to do.
Uh-huh.
He
Yeah,
said,
John
"Stay on the
left a
job."
little early.
He left early.
But I mean, very few comedians are ever faced with that dilemma and have like the type of John. John had a one-man show.
Yeah.
We talked about this probably before we got on air about how much John DeResta motivated you
Yeah.
and me as well, because John
Okay.
had the one-man show,
Yep.
and they were pushing it, man. He was
Yeah.
aggressive with it, and they wound up getting it into seen by networks. Turns out
Right.
the major networks passed, but UPN picked it up, and UPN was like a new network.
I remember.
The only problem was at that time he was like a year shy. Back then, he used to have to do the whole 20, and then all of a sudden, they came up with this thing where you could actually retire after 15, lock in your 15, not collect until your 20th,
Right.
but at least it was locked in. But he retired in his 14th before that thing came out, and he basically lost everything from the job.
Yeah.
But I mean, he went out to LA. He was in a couple of movies,
Yeah.
Miss Congeniality and stuff
He
like
was.
that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now he's got his business, his woodworking business, and he gets
He's
up on
doing great.
stage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he also had his shows, the reality shows with him and his brother,
Yep.
collecting garbage and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
turning it into like. So God
Yeah.
bless him, man. He's a good
Yeah. I
dude.
love him. I love him. Man, I appreciate it, man. Make sure I want to get, man. Dude, I'm just looking at this, man. You got a lot of folks on here, man. I love them. Get on my social media. That'd be awesome. My
Yeah,
Instagram, all
well,
that good stuff.
yeah, we're coming down to the end of the hour. What we're at 57 minutes here. Let's just take a look if there's anybody else I didn't mention. I just want to say thank you to all the people that actually show up. Shannon, Georgia Peach. Do people live outside the city and work in the city? Yes, absolutely.
That's how you survive. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how you can. And now that you got to take mass transit. You got to get into the city with the bus and the trains. That's always exciting too, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially now over here, we came up with this thing where we don't have it's called bail reform.
Okay.
So most people get desk appearance tickets. They don't have to go through the system. And a lot of our homeless people here, they relied on going through the system to catch up on their meds.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're out in the street and you're getting high every day,
yeah.
You're not on your schizophrenia meds. Every once in a while, you get locked up. They ask you 10 times before you even get to central booking, are you on any medication? So you say, yeah. Next thing you know, you're on your meds again. You know what I'm saying? You're getting your 3 square meals a day for a couple of days. You rejuvenate. You get back to it. Gives you life. These people are on the street right now. They don't see the system, so nobody's asking them about their meds, and they're going nuts. They're hitting people in the head with hammers and stuff.
Oh,
Candy Scarrat, thank you, Mark and Dwayne, for a good talk. Yeah, this was definitely a good talk.
Oh man, I appreciate it. It was amazing.
Looking at all the people here. Folks, I just want to remind you that we have a merch page now. When you go to our YouTube page, you'll see that we have merch. There's a lot of exciting stuff. Coffee, mugs, and glasses, and we got hats coming. And it's really, really good quality stuff too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty proud of it actually. The guy that we're working with, Josh, he does an amazing job. What's up, Joshua? He's out there. Also, too, we have a Patreon page,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, if you're if
I
you're
like
in-
that.
if you're so inclined, go to Patreon and put in Police Off the Cuff, and we
Awesome.
have several different tiers there. One of them is the bucket, which is the lowest one. I think that's like $7, and then it's Polish My Rack. And
Boy,
then
you
it's
are off the chain. You crazy.
then it's dipped in butter, and we have the same exact dipped in butter is the highest one you can go.
This
That's
is right
$10,
there. Yeah.
and also too we have membership on YouTube. So if you don't want to go find the Patreon, please feel free to join the membership on YouTube. We'd love to have you. It helps us with productions of the show and get these great guests. Um, I want to just also mention this. This is we'll talk about what do you got coming up. I know you got a show. I'll show the flyer, but
Yeah.
tell me what are you looking forward to on the horizon right now?
On the horizon, I've got a gig at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase
Wait, I
tomorrow
gotta put it
night.
up right there. Is that tomorrow
Yep,
night?
yep,
There it goes.
yep. Tomorrow night, Dwayne Gill and his funny friends. It's for Law Enforcement Torch Run. It's for Special Olympics, and I volunteer for that. We got about 3 Special Olympics comedy shows coming up. Next week, I am. I got a crazy schedule next week. I am in Marshall, Michigan next week at Turkeyville. I've got a private event in Grosse Pointe for some really rich people in Detroit. I'm in Portage, Indiana on Friday night, the 8th, and then I'm in Columbia City at the Elks Club in Indiana, and they're amazing. I go down there, so people are just happy to see somebody look like me, man. They're like Black Lives Matter. I would have voted for Obama 3 times if I could, those kind of folks. But I'm at the Comedy Cop on Instagram, and Dwayne Gill on.
So that's your name, Comedy Cop on Instagram.
Yeah, the Comedy Cop on Instagram, the Comedy Cop, and then on Twitter, the Comedy Cop, and also Dwayne L Gill on Facebook. So, and I've also got an OnlyFans called Detroit Big Black Cock. No, I'm just joking. I got an OnlyFans. That's a whole other story. You got to pay for that, man. That costs. You want to see it? It costs to be the boss.
That's great. So yeah, one more time with this show. If you're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, tomorrow night, it's going down. The Comedy Showcase, and the address is on this. I'm having 217 South 4th Avenue.
Yes, sir.
So God bless you. That's going to be rocking tomorrow night. You got some heavy hitters on there, I could tell.
Yes,
and
sir.
This is me right here. I have an album that's out right now, folks. It's called Bangers. You could buy it, purchase it. I'd love if you did. It's got a lot of great jokes on there, stuff that I've been doing for years, and it's available anywhere you could stream. So Apple, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, it's there. Please check it out. Do me a favor if you love me.
They love you. They love you, buddy. You look good, man. You look like you lost.
Yeah, you look good.
You lost some too.
Yeah, I'm doing this this Wim Hof stuff, this cold showers and cold shower therapy with the breathing. Yeah, it's for the COVID, man. You gotta beef up your lungs. God forbid you get that shit.
For the COVID.
Get
that booster, baby. Get that booster.
Yeah, that's they're backing up on that. They wanted to get it all out there.
And, I'm going to get mine, man. I'm getting mine, baby. I'm still essential, baby. I'm still essential.
You know how you could get people to get the booster and the other ones? Because Biden just got his.
Right.
Like if Biden came on TV and he started talking straight up English, like coherent, and like was with it and like was on top of everything, say, nah, I know I fucked up. I'm gonna fix everything. Trust me. I just got this other booster shot. I'm feeling much better. Everybody would get it. Right or wrong?
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Everybody would get it. Like, oh shit, I guess it works.
It's so funny. That's great, man. I appreciate it, man. You're awesome.
Well, thanks for taking the time out to sit with me and have a couple of laughs. I wish you all the best. Thank you for the gig. And obviously, I'm going to keep you in mind. If I get anything, I'm going to hook you up too. You're a
Yeah.
gentleman. You're a scholar. You're very, very funny, and you're a great cop. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope you had a good time. On behalf of Police Off the Cuff, have a good night. Later, Dwayne.
Later.